Did you know 82% of small businesses are using AI tools in 2026, but most people have no idea which ones actually save time and money? So I'm going to break down the 7 essential tools I found after testing over 30 of them and show you exactly how they can transform your business. The average professional spends about 4 hours per week on meeting-related admin, and for a small business owner who's in back-to-back calls half the day, that number is closer to 6 or 7. Fireflies joins your Zoom, Google Meet, or Teams calls automatically, transcribes the entire conversation in real time, and produces a structured summary with action items, decisions made, and follow-ups, all without you writing a single note. After a 30-minute client call, instead of spending 15 minutes writing up what happened, Fireflies gives you a summary that you can send to your team or drop into your project management tool as an update immediately. And because every meeting is automatically transcribed and searchable, Fireflies lets you search across conversations you've had in the past and instantly pull out the information you need. So if you ask something like, "What are the key takeaways from this meeting?" it scans the conversation and gives you a concise summary. For small businesses where decisions happen fast and follow-through is everything, having a searchable record of every client call and internal meeting means nothing gets lost and nobody can claim they weren't told. The free plan includes unlimited transcription, while paid plans add unlimited summaries, more storage, AI credits, and team tools. The next tool covers the time you lose after them, when customers visit your website and nobody is there to answer. If you run a business with a website, there are people visiting it at hours when nobody is available to answer questions, and every unanswered question is a potential sale you're losing. TDO is a customer support platform with an AI chatbot called Lyro that learns from your existing support content, your FAQ page, your product descriptions, and your help articles, and then answers customer questions on your website automatically. When a customer asks something about the product, Lyro answers instantly and accurately using the information you've already published on your site. You stay fully in control the entire time, deciding how Lyro speaks, when it steps in, and when it hands the conversation back to you. The conversations don't just answer questions, they also capture information. Lyro collects contact details, identifies what each visitor is interested in, and logs the entire conversation so you can follow up the next morning with full context on what the customer wanted. Without a chatbot, a visitor with a question at 9 p.m. either leaves your site or sends an email you won't see until morning. With Lyro, that same visitor gets an answer in seconds, stays on the page, and is significantly more likely to buy or book. The free plan gives you 50 AI conversations to test with, and once those run out, you'd move to a paid plan starting at $24 a month, plus the Lyro AI add-on starting at $32 a month depending on how many conversations you need. Customer support keeps existing customers engaged. The next tool keeps your internal operations from falling apart as your team grows. Every small business hits a point where the combination of Google Docs, spreadsheets, email threads, and text messages stops working, and nobody can find anything without asking someone else where it is. Notion replaces all of that with one workspace where your documents, project trackers, databases, SOPs, and internal notes live together and are searchable from one place. The AI layer on top is what turns it from a storage system into something that actively helps you work. You can take a messy set of notes from a client call and ask Notion AI to turn them into a structured action plan with owners, deadlines, and next steps, and it formats the whole thing into a table you can track against. You can ask it to summarize a 20-page project brief into a 1-page overview for a client who doesn't have time to read the full version. You can draft SOPs by describing a process in plain language, and Notion AI generates a clean, step-by-step document that you can share with your team and update as things change. And the search is where Notion pays for itself over time, because instead of searching through your different apps and folders, you can ask something like, "Any updates on the mobile improvements project?" and it pulls the relevant information into one place. For onboarding new employees, Notion gives you a searchable wiki that covers everything they need to know about how your business operates, instead of handing them a folder of disorganized PDFs and hoping they figure it out. The free plan covers personal use, and Plus starts at $10 per person per month for team collaboration and project management. If you want the full AI features like AI agents and Ask Notion, that's the business plan at $20 per person per month. For any business with more than 2 or 3 people, Notion is the tool that stops every question about how things work from landing on your desk. Operations tools keep the business running internally, but the next tool covers more ground than every other tool on this list combined. Claude is an AI assistant built by Anthropic, and the reason it's on this list at all is because it handles research, writing, email drafting, document analysis, strategy work, data interpretation, and customer communication, all inside one platform. To show you what that looks like in practice, I'll open Claude and paste in this prompt along with the supplier contract. It says, read this entire supplier agreement and identify the 3 clauses most likely to cost my business money over the next 12 months. For each one, explain what the risk is in plain language and suggest a specific change I should negotiate before signing. Claude reads the full document, pulls out the 3 highest risk clauses, explains each one without legal jargon, and gives me specific language I can bring to the negotiation table, and the whole thing takes about 2 minutes. That same task would normally mean either spending an afternoon reading the contract yourself or paying a lawyer $300 to $3,000 for a first pass review. Claude does the first pass in minutes, and while it doesn't replace legal counsel for final decisions, it means you walk into that conversation already knowing where the problems are. And that's one example out of dozens. If you need to draft a proposal for a new client, you can describe the project, the client's priorities, and the budget, and Claude will write the full proposal in a format you can send. If a customer sends a complaint email and you're not sure how to respond without escalating the situation, Claude will draft a reply that acknowledges the issue, offers a concrete solution, and keeps the tone professional. If you're prepping for a pitch and you need to understand a new market in 30 minutes, you can tell Claude to research the space, identify the top 5 competitors, and summarize what they're doing well and where the gaps are. The reason I use Claude over ChatGPT for this kind of work is that Claude handles long documents better, follows instructions more consistently across a long conversation, and has a project system that lets you organize everything by client or function, so your context carries across sessions instead of starting fresh every time. Claude has a free plan that covers basic use, and the Pro plan at $20 a month gives you access to Opus, which is Anthropic's most capable model, along with higher usage limits and every feature I'm about to cover next. Because the second half of Claude is Cowork, and that's where it stops being a tool you sit with and starts being a tool that works while you're not looking. Cowork is a desktop agent that connects to your local files and applications, and it can schedule tasks, organize files, build spreadsheets, prepare reports, and analyze notes without you being at the keyboard. The scenario where this saves the most time is the kind of admin work that eats up your mornings. If you need last week's sales data pulled from a spreadsheet, organized by region, and formatted into a summary you can send to your business partner, Cowork handles that entire workflow on its own while you're on a client call. Cowork connects to dozens of apps through pre-built integrations, and when no integration exists for a specific app, it falls back to controlling your mouse and keyboard directly, which means it can navigate dashboards, fill in web forms, and interact with tools that don't have an API. And the feature that changed how I use Cowork every day is Dispatch. Dispatch lets you send tasks to Claude from your phone while it works on your desktop. You pair your phone with your computer through a QR code, and from that point on, you have one persistent conversation that syncs across both devices. So you can be at lunch and text Claude something like, "Can you open the Acme landing page proposal in my downloads and give me the key points? I have like 15 minutes before I need to present it." And Claude starts working immediately, reading local files, opening apps, and building the output while you're doing something else entirely. When the task is done, Claude messages you on your phone with the result. The setup takes about 30 seconds, and for a small business owner who doesn't have an assistant and can't justify hiring one yet, Cowork with Dispatch fills that role at a fraction of the cost. Cowork and Dispatch are both included on the same $20 Pro plan, which means your AI assistant and your background automation run on a single subscription. Claude covers the work that requires thinking and the work that requires doing. The next tool covers the channel that generates the most revenue per dollar spent for small businesses, which is email. Email marketing still has the highest ROI of any marketing channel for small businesses, but the part that takes the most time isn't writing the emails, it's figuring out who should receive which email and when. ActiveCampaign combines email marketing with a built-in CRM and uses AI to automate segmentation, personalization, and send timing, which are the 3 things that turn a generic email blast into something that actually converts. The way it works in practice is that you set up a welcome sequence for new leads, and ActiveCampaign's AI adapts the path each subscriber takes based on their behavior. If someone clicks a link about a specific service, the next email they get focuses on that service. If someone opens every email but never clicks, the AI adjusts the subject line and format to try a different approach. It also predicts the best time to send each email based on when each individual subscriber is most likely to open it, which means 2 people on the same list might receive the same email 6 hours apart because their patterns are different. The CRM tracks every interaction across email, website visits, and form submissions. and scores each lead based on how likely they are to convert, so you know exactly where to spend your follow-up time instead of treating every lead the same. For a small business that collects email addresses but doesn't have a dedicated marketing person to manage campaigns, ActiveCampaign turns email into a revenue channel that runs in the background once you set it up. The starter plan begins at $15 a month, which covers email marketing and basic automation. And if you want the full CRM with pipelines and lead scoring, that starts at the Plus plan at $49 a month. Email brings customers in. The next tool makes sure your marketing looks professional enough to keep them interested. Canva has been a go-to design tool for years, but the AI features they've added through Magic Studio turned it into something that can handle the majority of small business marketing design without a freelancer. Magic Studio lets you describe what you need: a product launch announcement, a seasonal promotion, a job posting, and Canva generates multiple design options using your brand colors, fonts, and logo. If you need to create an onboarding presentation, you can type something like "Generate an onboarding plan for Val," and Canva will instantly generate several presentation layouts you can customize and choose from. It also includes Magic Write for generating copy inside the design. So if you type something like, "Write a job description for an operations manager," Canva will generate the content for you, and you can adjust the tone to match your brand voice. Other Magic Studio features like Magic Media, Magic Expand, Magic Edit, and Magic Grab can also quickly enhance or modify your photos when you don't have the perfect image to work with. The cost comparison is where Canva makes the clearest case for itself. A freelance designer charges $50 to $100 per social media graphic. If you post 3 to 4 times a week, that's over $1,000 a month on design alone. Canva Pro is $15 a month, or $10 a month if you pay annually, and it covers all of it plus presentations, email headers, product mockups, and print materials. Design keeps your marketing looking sharp. The last tool keeps it consistent, which is the part that usually falls off first. Posting consistently on social media is one of the highest impact marketing activities for a small business, and it's also one of the first things that falls off when the week gets busy. Buffer is a social media scheduling tool with AI built in that lets you plan, write, and schedule posts across every platform from one dashboard. So you can batch a full week of content in 30 minutes instead of scrambling to post something every day. The AI assistant inside Buffer suggests post ideas based on your industry and audience, writes draft captions you can edit, and recommends the best times to post on each platform based on when your followers are most active. You can connect your Instagram, LinkedIn, X, Facebook, TikTok, and Pinterest accounts. Write all your posts in one sitting, schedule them across the week, and then not think about social media again until the following Monday. Buffer also tracks performance across all platforms, so you can see which posts are working, which formats get the most engagement, and where to spend more time based on what's actually driving results rather than guessing. For a small business owner who knows they should be posting regularly but can't afford to hire a social media manager, Buffer turns a daily task into a weekly batch that takes less than an hour. The free plan covers 3 channels, and paid plans start at $5 per channel per month. That brings the full list to 7 tools: Fireflies for meetings, TDO for customer support, Notion AI for operations, Claude for your AI assistant and background automation, ActiveCampaign for email marketing, Canva for design, and Buffer for social media. The best way to start is not to adopt all 7 at once. Pick Claude as your foundation because it covers the widest range of tasks. Then add one more tool based on whatever is eating the most time in your week right now, and expand from there as each one starts paying for itself. And if you want to see exactly how Cowork and Dispatch work in practice, I walked through the full setup and showed what it looks like running tasks in the background in this next video right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.